What's up, guys? I'm Rico.
And I'm Dan.
And we're two dudes. And today we're going to be talking about getting into the entrepreneurial mindset. Do you have what it takes?
Entrepreneurial mindset. What really is an entrepreneur? What exactly is an entrepreneur? You can look it up in the dictionary and it'll give you some, classic definition, but it's a mindset. How you lead your life, how you want to lead your life. We have that 9-to-5 job, that's how we provide for ourselves, our families, the things that we like, the fancy cars and all that stuff is great. Amazon helps out a lot with that, of course, in our multiple streams of income, which is huge.
Keep it multiple streams of income. Message!
Get a quiz later for this. Multiple streams of income is the biggest key, but that's the entrepreneurial mindset is essentially going to bed at night and you can't stop thinking about how to make your life better. What can you do to better your life, better your family's life? Money is a big driver. That's kind of like the reward for an accomplishment. But an entrepreneur, isn't obsessed with money, isn't obsessed with the fancy things. They consistently have this drive and this burning feeling inside of them where they need to make themselves known. They need to operate things on a different level. There's a lot of deaths to career that happen with complacency. We see it every day. There's people that literally get a job, the old guard. It's how it was, our grandfathers and fathers did it that way, where you get a job, you stay in it for 40 years and you retire. It's a great life. It really is. It's a great life. It's sound.
It works.
It's safe. An entrepreneur isn't safe. An entrepreneur isn't looking for, the bare minimum just to get by. An entrepreneur is looking to do something that's, extraordinary. One of the things that we posted on Instagram a little bit ago was with Elon Musk. He's an entrepreneur. You look at some of the things that he was able to do. SpaceX, Tesla, the Boring Company. These are things that he just thinks of and executes on, and that's what an entrepreneur does. They find an idea and then they execute upon it. They're constantly thinking. There is no roadmap. They're constantly thinking on how to better themselves, better their future. And that's essentially what we really want to discuss today.
Being an entrepreneur isn't necessarily just one thing. It's not, I threw up a Shopify store and I'm magically an entrepreneur. That's just not the way it is. You should be wanting to create value in your particular space. We saw an opportunity to do things better within Amazon and within other spaces, and we decided to act on that. We still have our day jobs because our day jobs pay us really well, and we'd be stupid just to stop making amazing money to pursue all these other things. At some point, we're going to end up quitting our day jobs because Amazon is panning out, and we're doing everything necessary to make sure that we're successful with Amazon, that we go from a 6-figure business to a 7-figure business to an 8-figure business, which is very difficult. When people say 7-figure Amazon business, that's tough. You guys don't realize how much money you're spending every single month to have
every day.
Really, realistically,
tens
every
of
day.
Thousands of dollars. Yeah, nuts.
So if you want to put this into perspective, count yourself out of spending maybe $30,000 to $40,000 minimum every single month in order to have a 6-figure a month Amazon business, which is a 7-figure a year Amazon business. Now, being an entrepreneur, you're gonna have to do things differently. You not necessarily have to, but it's because you want to do things differently. You don't want to just be stuck at the 9-to-5. We love our jobs, we love our careers. It afforded us the opportunity to do all these cool things and have cool cars and all this. And for the most part, when you guys look at us, we look just like normal everyday dudes. Which we are. We're just like you guys. You guys and gals, if you want to be politically correct. But we don't sit here and flash Ferraris and Lamborghinis and all these things and whatever. We have nice cars. The RCF and the GTR and the Focus RS and the Evo 10. We have some pretty decent cars. That's not necessarily what it's all about. If you guys walked up to us on the street, we look like bums half the time.
Yeah.
We're looking like, I dress like this all the time.
Not clean shaven.
Yeah, unless I go to work. At work,
that's different.
I tend to dress a little bit more professional. Being an entrepreneur doesn't mean that you have to have fancy cars and fancy clothes and $1 million home and all that stuff. It's nice, but it's not a prerequisite. It's not a requirement for you to make it. An entrepreneur is someone that wants to change their situation and other people's situation. Whether you're a YouTubers are entrepreneurs. Their content helps people. Their content betters people's lives in most cases, if you're talking about pertinent things. And that's what you should be striving for as an entrepreneur. If you're lazy, like if you know that you're lazy and you know that you wake up and you're like, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. If you know that you're the king of procrastination, then entrepreneurship isn't necessarily for you, because it requires a lot of dedication. It requires a lot of effort. We put in a lot of hours to make sure that Amazon is success, that our Amazon business is successful. We put in a lot of hours to make sure that our Shopify business is successful. We put in a lot of hours to make sure that everything that we do outside of our day jobs, we're successful with. Even our day jobs, we have to constantly learn new skills. We have to constantly make sure we're at the forefront of tech. That's what it takes to move ahead. Being complacent is a death of ideas and a death of your career, no matter what it's in, whether it's in engineering or IT. So you guys need to take a deep look inside, like, why am I getting into e-commerce? Why am I getting into affiliate marketing? Why am I getting into these different ventures? And if your answer is money, quit, stop. Just stop right ahead. Like, if your answer for anything is money, then you shouldn't be doing that.
Yep.
You should be focusing on something that you're gonna do because you enjoy it, because you can provide value. And there's an age-old saying, do what you love and the money will come. That's kind of BS. That's kind of BS. Now, we both love what we do, and yes, we get paid very well. But how many people do you know that decided to follow this entrepreneurial mindset? They were like, I'm gonna become an entrepreneur, and they love what they do. They absolutely love what they do, but they're barely making any money. They can barely make ends meet, or they're making no money at all. That is not what you should be doing. Like, yes, being an entrepreneur is nice, and yes, it can afford you the opportunity to do some great things. But don't be stupid. If you know that you're lazy, and you know that you're not motivated, if you know that you're not a self-motivating person, then you shouldn't be diving into entrepreneurial endeavors. Like, have a side hustle. Just, have a nice little side hustle, make a little money, flip some cell phones here and there, get some ideas from Pinterest, and, start making some arts and crafts at home, sell those on the side on like Craigslist or something. But don't go full swing and you're like, I'm gonna start, a Shopify store, and I'm gonna be the greatest guy on the planet. Or gal. I'm gonna make $30,000 my first month. No,
it's hot air. How do you know if you're an entrepreneur? How do you know if you're meant to be one? A lot of things that come into play, and we've gone through it, is self-doubt. You kind of can't believe what you're doing, and you wonder if it's going to be successful, if it's going to fail, and a lot of people aren't necessarily in the position monetarily to start something like this. I mean, you do need money. You don't need a significant amount of money. But a significant amount of money to some people is, $50, and some it's $100,000. But more importantly, how do you know if you're cut out to be an entrepreneur? E-commerce aside, that is one of the biggest questions that you're probably asking. And if you feel like inside that you've always felt like you were destined to do something bigger and better, and you're tired of following a pre-carved path. You want to carve your own path. You want to make your own way in life. Not keep following a rule book and a guide that says do this and you'll be you'll live a good comfortable life. Entrepreneurs take risks. You have to be a risk taker. You have to be wanting to put everything on the line to see something succeed. Money. To make a lot of money, great. It's a possible potential depending on what you do. You will make a lot of money. But money aside, like Rico said, it isn't the main desire and drive of being an entrepreneur. Isn't necessarily just to live in that $15 million beach house in Laguna Beach. It's about creating a better self-defined life. And if you go to bed at night and you think that you could be doing something different with your life, regardless if it's if you haven't gone to college and you want to go to college, or you're not making enough money and you want to make more, or you want to move to a different place that you've always wanted to live, or you want to travel the world, but you want to help yourself get to that point in life where you can afford to do those things, or you want to create something that hasn't been created. I mean, there's so many different ways to kind of define yourself as an entrepreneur, and that's what we did. We lived pretty comfortable lives, but we both have that that weird motivation. Of it's like going to bed and feeling like you can do more, you should have done more, that that day, the day before, and the next day, you know, and that's why we're doing what we're doing now, and you know, it's something that you can easily do yourself too.
I don't know about him, but I want a $15 million beach house in Cali.
We all want a $15 million beach house in Cali, but
I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a 9 to 5. Like I said, we still have a 9 to 5. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with having a 9 to 5. Nothing wrong with having a little side hustle. Nothing wrong with making a little change on the side. You know, because you know, everyone needs to have a little side hustle. You know, if you think you're going to get super rich from your day job, you know, short of being the CEO, chances are you're not. You know, even people that make $100,000, $200,000 a year, you know, like we can attest to this stuff.
Yeah, one of the things that, not to cut you off, one of the things that I was telling Rico is, you know, when we got into this, you know, before we even got into e-commerce, I told him, like, you know, we've done a couple ventures before with different businesses that, you know, some worked out, some didn't, but I think the biggest key is, you know, every day when you wake up and, you know, you go to your job and you can see the finish line. You can see where you're going to be in 20 to 25 years. And to me, that's just not acceptable. I don't want to know that this is where I'm going to end up if I work hard enough. I want to not know that. I want to know that you know, my destiny is in my control. I don't want to be able to look, you know, when I get to 45, 50 and it's like, you know what? It's time to pull the plug. I'm done. And it's like, I could have done something different with my life. And that, you know, that is an entrepreneur, right?
Bingo. Couldn't have said it better myself. It's as a $15 million beach house. Yeah. But guys, that's it, man. That's what, you know, the entrepreneurial mindset is all about. I can never really say
Entrepreneurial.
That. Yeah, I can never say that word.
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneurial. You know, I'm from Mississippi originally, so I mean, I lost my accent. You know, I'm out in the Northeast now. We're out in Pennsylvania, so I lost a lot of my accent, except for when I'm talking to my parents and my kids. I sound like a complete hick. And there's still some words I can't say. So you guys have to forgive me if I say something wrong. It's not because I'm an idiot. You know, it's because that's just what I say. But anyway, as always, please guys, you know, make sure that you like the content, comment if you will, you know, subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's links in the description to go to our Facebook group. Make sure you guys jump on that Facebook group because we're doing giveaways every single week.
Every week.
But we can't give stuff away to you guys if no one's participating. So make sure you guys jump in and just like the content, man. Just talk to us. We always talk back. We always try to help out anyone who's in need of advice when it comes to e-commerce and stuff like that. Now, granted, we're not going to sit on the phone with you guys for 10 hours and set your entire store up and do all this stuff, but we can give you guys pointers and put you in the right direction because it is tough. Like,
it is.
We went from nothing to something in 30 days. And then in 60 days, we turned into a 10-figure business, a 10-figure. A 5-figure a month, Amazon business. So a $10,000 a month.
10-figure business,
yeah.
right?
A $10K a month Amazon business. Sorry guys, yeah, I'm ridiculous. Jump in our Facebook group. We'll be talking, all the time about, e-commerce and other entrepreneurial endeavors.
And not even just e-commerce, in general, bettering your life, being life coaches, there's a lot of things that we've gone through in life that, we would love to help you guys out with. If you have questions, we can answer it.
Yo, our camera guy's being ridiculous. It's probably gonna get all this stuff is gonna be left in more than likely. I'm sorry, I'm dying.
Nice.
I'm totally screwing this up. But anyway, guys, man, make sure you do what we said. Like our content, subscribe, and we're doing great giveaways: PlayStations, Xboxes, Nintendo Switches. All right, guys, we're done. All right, peace out.
Peace.